Welcome to The Good, the Bad, and the Kino. This week, what are we talking about, Ryan?
We're talking about music videos, Moses. We're talking about each of our personal favorite, I'd say, 15 music videos.
We don't know how many we're gonna have time to do, but we're gonna try and talk about.
No, we're at least gonna get through 10 each.
Let's hope so, yeah.
But yeah, we really took a deep dive this week, and you and I have very different lists in terms of style, and even type of music is very different. But it's definitely going to be exciting. Yeah, there's not really a whole lot of preamble to this one. We're just looking at music videos we love. Like, we're not saying these are the best, right? There's so many music videos like we did not even begin to watch, right? But like these are ours that we love, kind of thing.
Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna start out.
And this is our first video. This is our first video podcast.
Yes, video podcast.
Which, people will know once they're watching this. Hopefully, they are watching this.
We'll still have the audio version, but
right. If you're listening and you want to watch us, please do. We're a lot more animated. We're both wearing hats right now.
Yes, because we have bad hair.
Yeah, Moses has none. I have too much.
I don't have none. It's actually coming back faster than I thought it would.
That's true, actually. That little sneak peek you showed there, I was surprised there was any hair there.
No, on the sides, actually, it's weird because it's about the length I had it before on the sides, because I had it quite short on the sides before and more on top. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start. I have my handy little note.
Ready when you are.
So I'm going to start with one of my picks, which you saw for the first time today. Anima by Tom York.
Yeah.
Well, by Tom York. That's the album. Directed by Paul Anderson. Came out just under a year ago. It was released on Netflix. It's about 15 minutes long, including credits, and there's a lot of credits. Ryan, I have no idea what you think of it. I know you reviewed it on Letterboxd, but I didn't check my Letterboxd, so I have no idea.
Good.
Please tell me your thoughts.
You also had another Radiohead another Radiohead song later on.
Yeah.
So I think for me overall, like the music in and of itself is fine. I don't particularly love it. I don't hate it.
You don't like electronic?
The second song in Anima, I didn't like really at all. The first song I liked a lot. The second one I didn't like at all. The third one I thought was good.
Oh, the third one is the best song on that album.
The third one's good. Like the 1 and 3, good songs. Middle one, not good. But as of the video, that's what we're
talking about. This is not a music review episode. Right. This is a music video.
The video. So of the music videos you sent to me, there were 3 that clearly stood above the rest, and this was one of them.
Yes.
I'd say this is my here. Let me look. It's my second or third favorite of the ones you sent.
Yes.
The direction is
so good.
Is amazing.
Yes.
The images and the imagery and the lighting and the way that they cast like projectors of
notes on that.
Of light sequences on cityscapes and rock formations as like he's going through this kind of dreamscape. And the visuals are really heady. Even though I really didn't like the second song, the sequence it plays to is stunning.
Is it when he's on the platforms, the white platforms, and people are falling on the white platforms?
Yeah. And there's like sliding back.
Yes, I don't know how they did that. Like
me neither.
The set piece. I'm like, because some people are standing up and some people are falling and some people have their balance and it's like clearly tilted, and so I'm like,
it's mad.
I don't know how they performed this bit.
It's a trip.
No,
I would love to watch this video when I'm high at some point.
Yeah, no,
because I bet it'd be insane. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's very surreal. It's this weird.
It is, but in a good way. It's surreal in a way that like. Because I feel like sometimes people use the term surreal when it's just like when something's confusing, like, oh, it's surreal. It's like, no, it's confusing. This is surreal in the sense that like it's dreamlike and like mind bending, but like there is like there's like a a common theme that runs through the film, and that's something I really enjoyed about it.
Did you pick up on so in our first year of university, at least I did, and I think you did as well, study a bit of Buster Keaton.
Yep, a lot of him.
Did you pick up on Buster Keaton in this? Because that's a big influence.
In the second one more so than the first,
I thought in the first and third one. I thought in the first one there was
a little bit, but I thought it was more like interpretive dance. And the same thing with the third one, because it seems like they're dancing together, and the choreography and the movement of their hands. I love that shot at the end when they're on the trolley. And the shot is from underneath, and it's their hands from above, and it's them like connecting and like their heads coming together. I love. But that also more like dance versus the second one, the way that people were like interlocking and falling and whatnot felt like that kind of energy of Buster Keaton. I would totally agree with that. Yeah.
No, the first one specifically is Buster Keaton to me. Before Tom York really starts dancing, before he really starts dancing, he's kind of like just like kind of acting around the world, and he gets blocked by the barrier. You know, all that stuff.
Yeah.
All of that to me is very Buster Keaton, and I read that it was one of the
the barrier thing, 100%. Yeah.
Also,
absolutely.
You know when he jumps over the barrier, eventually.
Yeah.
That's a direct
just like
parallel.
It's like he's flying over.
Yeah, that's a direct parallel to Punch Drunk Love. That happens at one time in Punch Drunk Love.
Yeah, that's true. I haven't seen that film in ages, but I will say watching this has made me want to go back and to watch all of Anderson's films, because I've seen all of his films, and just like, man, he is an artist. He really is. And I really enjoyed this. I wish I liked the music a bit more, so that I was like fully in love with it. But like in terms of I will say this, even though I have a couple other ones of mine or of yours that I might prefer, I think this is out of all the music videos we're going to talk about, this is the best made one. Yes. Like hands down, 100%.
And I do think it's a weird glorified music video, and I was like, okay, this could have been on YouTube, but like it's on Netflix.
But I'm glad it wasn't, because the fact that it's on Netflix,
it gives
it more prestige, but also like,
for those listening at home and watching the video, Ryan's our Wi-Fi connection's a bit unstable, and Wi-Fi Ryan's video just froze on me.
Every now and again it freezes briefly, but anyways, what I was trying to say was
edit it out.
I just think that the artistry is really profound, and I like how the story or the through line is like him finding love and like expressing himself in a world that is like in a conformist like world.
It's a weird 1984 nightmare scenario.
It really is, but like without any dialogue, and the songs certainly don't relate to what's happening in the video. They all through visuals, I can clearly get the beats of that story, of that narrative, of the themes, and I really enjoyed it. In terms of direction and visuals, it's astounding.
A couple more things before we move on, because I don't want to spend too long on this. You mentioned the projections on the walls. I love that. I love using projectors in that way. I think it's fascinating.
Me too.
Would do it.
I love how Danny Boyle does it. He does that quite often in his films.
We talked about that in Steve Jobs.
In Steve Jobs, I'm the same as you. I love it when people do that.
The Dawn Chorus sequence, as it's called, it's the final bit with the last song, because that song is called Dawn Chorus. It's most people's favorite part, because it's just like very beautiful, and it slows down, and it's just these two people dancing. That's his real life partner, by the way.
Yeah.
And it's just really beautiful, and also the choreography.
I actually wondered if it was his real life partner, because I definitely sensed that kind of like
intimacy,
that kind of intimacy. Yeah, exactly, intimacy. Yeah.
And by the way, the songs in this, I saw him perform it live, and they come out as club bangers when they get performed live. I was at front row jamming to all these songs, which apparently you don't like. The choreography, by the way, is the same person who did the choreography for Suspiria, which he did the score for.
Wow. Okay.
And so reconnecting with the choreography is amazing. I love the part where he's
it's fantastic,
and the people are writhing on the floor, like worms.
It's great.
It's just
Is
so good, so good. I don't want to.
It's really it's no. I agree that the choreography is fantastic, and I think that's why. Like, I don't know, it was a great combination of visual storytelling and body movement and choreography in the video that like pairs it to be as good as it is. And again, I like the music. I think that the first and third song in this are better than the other Radiohead song we'll talk about in a bit.
But you don't like that song? Okay. Wow. Oh, wow.
I thought it was fine.
It's
I thought
one
it
of
was
my
fine.
favorite songs.
But I really loved the first song, and the third song I thought was really good. So overall, it is a great thing. And most people have Netflix, so like, definitely watch it. It's only 15 minutes,
including
it's
credits.
only 15. Yeah, it's definitely worth a watch for something so dynamic and visually amazing.
Okay, I say we should move on. What's your next pick?
All right, so my pick, and again, we're not really. This isn't really like in an order of like,
my favorite.
Best of best, right?
Anima is not my favorite music video on this list.
Yeah, and my next one's not mine necessarily either. It's just like this is just the order that we're going in. So my first pick is "Stand" by Eminem. Okay. And the music video was directed by. Sorry, I have it up right here in my notes. The director was Joseph Kahn.
Oh, it's Joseph. I didn't know it was Joseph Kahn. You know who that is, right?
I do now. Once I finish typing into my laptop, yes.
He's like the biggest music video director.
What? Oh,
he does all of Taylor Swift stuff. He did all of Britney Spears' stuff. He's done all that.
Oh wow, Sugar Ray, Backstreet Boys.
He's done everything. Joseph Kahn.
He's done Muse, Elton John, Christina Aguilera.
Dude.
Wu-Tang Clan? Wow.
Joseph Kahn is the biggest contemporary music video director, and he's still out there doing stuff with Taylor Swift right now.
And Maroon 5 and...
Dude, he's done everything. I did not know Stan was directed by him.
No. All right, well, let's start with your thoughts, right? Clearly I'm picking it. I love this video, so what do you think?
Stan, first of all, was played by the guy from Final Destination. I don't know if you've ever seen Final Destination. But
I have not.
It's not a good movie.
Probably never will.
Do you know what it's about?
Yeah, it's just like random kills people.
That's an excuse, but the plot is you avoid death and then death chases you down pretty much, and he's the main guy in that.
Okay.
And it came out around the same time as Stan. Okay, first of all, bro, that's a terrible way to bleach your hair. At the start of the video. That's awful.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, don't. As
very
someone
reckless.
who had bleached hair for like 10 months, I can't recommend.
Just a little PSA. Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that. I think it's weird that this is where the name Stan comes from, because Stan is a thing now, and it comes from this.
Yeah.
And it's and people misuse it because people use it more as a positive thing now, and this is more of a negative look at that. So I always find that quite odd.
Yeah.
So
as we talk about people, a lot of people misinterpret the meaning of things sometimes. And we talked about that with Tyler Durden.
Oh yeah.
So
I don't think it's people misinterpreting, just people kind of forgetting where it comes from. I don't think it's misinterpretation.
Sure.
There's a very little area of interpretation in this.
That's true. Very true. All right. Well, yeah. What were your
in terms of the actual music video? I usually don't like music videos that follow the clear narrative of the song, but with Stan as a song, you have to.
Yeah.
It's the best way to do it. There's no other way. Yeah. Because the song has such a clear narrative, and it's written so well that it can be adapted so well into this narrative music video, and it works really well. Yeah. In terms of the video, some of the stuff is kind of dated. So like it has at the end these filters, like when it does flashbacks to the start of the music video, and it looks dated.
A little bit. And I can see that.
And at the end, when Eminem is writing down like his letter at the end, you see Stan's reflection in the mirror. Not in the mirror, the window.
I like that.
No.
See, the only thing I wasn't a fan of is the first like minute or so, where like they're kind of overact, like they're setting it up and like they're trying to have it be a story, which like I like because like you said, the song is so like narratively intact, and but like oh, man, they're overreact. To me, they're overacting a bit in that first minute or two before
Also,
like the song kind of starts.
his girlfriend's British. I didn't remember that.
Yeah, that was I also thought that was a bit of a strange
also,
like a bit strange.
I don't remember her being British. Okay.
Yeah. But overall, for me, I think Eminem is one of the greatest musicians of all time. I'm not gonna say top 3 or 5 or like any of that, but I think he's one of the greatest musicians ever because
I don't have any real opinions on Eminem.
I think even though his last 3 albums haven't been good, this was during that period of time where he was just putting out great stuff. And what I love about Eminem is he's just like he uses music to tell stories, and I feel like he does it in a way that is so secular and so personal to him that it feeds through. There's always a level of emotion behind his music because it's always so personal. And what I love about Stan as a song, which I think might be his greatest song, is that the narrative cohesion of it is so clear and so distinct, but yet also the way he's telling it is distinctly Eminem. And what I love about the music video is, and why it's one of my favorites of all time, is because the music video makes the song better. Because when you listen to the song, now you'll think about the visuals of the music video. But also the music video, so the music video makes the song better, but the song makes the music video better, and it's this great synergistic relationship.
I kind of have a criteria for good music videos, and this isn't a very solid criteria because you could also use it to deem bad music videos. But I think the music video is good or bad, depending on where it lands. If when I listen to the song, it evokes the music video completely. Every time. Like there are some songs they have music videos I don't really care for them, and then I listen to the song and I never ever think of the music video. For all the songs on my list, when I hear
you always think about the music video.
When I hear those songs, I think of the music video. It's
true.
It's in my head. It doesn't leave my head.
Very true.
They're completely intertwined. And so that's kind of my criteria for a good music video. Because if I don't think about it when I'm later listening to that song, it didn't do it right. There's something was wrong, So
I agree, and I don't know. To me, this is just the best of these of this kind of music video, because like the video visualizes the words of the song, but then the video wouldn't be what it is without the narrative through line and cohesion that the song has. So I think it's really great, and I like how they use like some real concert footage or like behind the scenes footage.
That's cool. And then they have really Eminem as Eminem, not just like concert footage and all that stuff.
It's actually him, and like I feel like that made his obsession more understandable. But of course, you're never going to be like, oh, like Stan's a good dude. It's like, no, you're following someone who's more than likely mentally ill, and like kind of him go down this rabbit hole, and it's really great, and it's really tragic as well. And like I like watching the video, you really that sadness and pain that comes through the song, I think, is heightened even more so.
No, one part I forgot about was when Stan's girlfriend discovers the photo of Stan and Eminem, and he taped over his girlfriend in the photo. I forgot about that.
It's at first you're like, oh, it's a bit goofy, but one of the lines in the song is like, well, we should be together, yours forever, Stan.
It is a bit goofy, but it's meant. It is a little bit goofy, but it works.
It is a little bit, but because that's in the song, and I think the rest of the video sets up that like obviously he's a bit mentally ill. That like bit. It makes sense. So,
but I also think this totally falls into the criteria I was talking about. I don't think of the music video when I listen to this song. If it comes on shuffle, it definitely evokes the music video just because
100%.
It's intertwined with what the music video does.
Yeah,
and it makes the song superior, which you've touched upon.
Yeah, I think absolutely.
We can move on to the next thing.
Yeah, all I wanted to say extra was like, this is not the only great music video by Eminem. Cleaning Out My Closet's a great music video. Headlights. there's one Spacebound's a great music video. So Eminem really does have a great catalog of music videos. I think people should go and check out.
Okay. We'll go a bit faster through some of these other music videos. We won't spend as much time on. Okay, next one. This next one is probably my favorite music video of all time, and you don't know which one it is. All Is Full of Love by Björk.
Okay.
What did you think of this one?
Okay, so
you're gonna break my heart if you don't like this.
I thought the song sucked. And when it started, I was like, I don't know. I'm not really into this because like also the way that they superimposed the faces onto the robots was like I thought was a terrible visual. Like the visual effects on like putting her face on the robot, I thought was an awful effect.
Holy shit, it looks amazing, dude. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
The close-ups on like the robots being put together in the machinery, the lighting, the reverse effects are all excellent. And when it gets to the point where it becomes overtly sexual, when it's like when it gets to that one shot of the robots basically having sex and the machines around them penetrate.
Yeah, no, it's like it has like pistons going back and forth.
Yeah,
yeah.
And basically, from that on, it went from like this is weird to like, oh, this is actually quite artistic.
This is beautiful.
This like actually the framing on this is amazing. The final shot is stunning. The close-ups still have that impact. So like from a if I watched it without the music, I would think it would be very good.
It's not my favorite song, but the music video is just so out there. It's directed. The
music video is great.
By Chris Cunningham, who's done a lot of music videos, and also he directed these very strange PS3 ads when the PlayStation 3 came out, and people were like, "What in the world was he thinking?" It's like people with like weird heads talking in a weird voice.
Just wondering why.
Like, I don't know why they picked him to do this ad campaign. But in terms of the music video,
that is a weird choice.
The faces superimposed on the robots look perfect. The effect holds up.
No, I didn't like it.
You don't like it, or you thought it looked bad? Like, explain your reasoning there.
I thought it looked bad because it looked like the faces were moving on top of the robots, and it just didn't. It just didn't look like a robot face. It looked to me. It looked like some Talking Orange type stuff, where it's like you superimpose, the faces on something else, and you're like. Well, this just doesn't look great to me. I'm being honest,
It's very reminiscent of iRobot, which came out a couple of years later. But
I think iRobot's got better effects than that music video.
It does not. The effects hold up perfectly. Do you know what year this came out?
Early 2000s.
1999, and it still looks perfect to this day. And if you look at the comments on the video, people agree with me. Everybody says it looks well, but also you can never comment sections on YouTube music videos because they
never
suck.
They're terrible.
It's one of my least favorite things. Watching a music video and then scrolling down to the comments.
It's really bad.
It's awful.
I never do. I don't anymore.
Awful. It's terrible jokes that they keep repeating. It's unimaginative, and I hate it.
It's just not good.
Okay. Couple things on this music video. This looks like an Apple ad in some parts, and Apple wasn't even making these ads at this point in their marketing. And it's like they have these ads where it's like, oh, the new iPhone's made of this new alloy, and it's like them putting together the phone, and it looks exactly like certain parts of this music video.
It does.
Yeah. It looks.
I'd agree with that.
I think it still looks really modern. It's just two robots making out, I wrote down.
It's very modern.
Penetration piston. There's that going on?
Yeah,
as well?
It is. But I thought that was the most interesting part was, and I thought it was an interesting to me that was the only kind of commentary I got out of it was like we're literally being screwed by our machines. Is like how I
to me it's like
how I took that.
No, to me it was like, look, everything. It's called All Is Full of Love. Everything can experience love, including these machines. That's my
true. I took that away from it as well. No, I thought the music video was very good, but I really did not like. I really did not like the song. Classic Bjork.
Yeah. The song isn't my favorite at first. I like it, but the music video, it's just so clean and beautiful, and it's like this milk kind of white liquid
polished.
swirling. It's so polished, man. And I think that even though I see why the faces on top of each other is weird to you, it just looks perfect to me. And look, that doesn't bother me.
Fair enough.
It looks, effects wise, it looks seamless to me. I don't know how it holds up so well. Visually, it just looks.
That's good. I'm that's good that you take it that way, and that so you still enjoy it. It's just whenever they came to the faces, it took me right out of it. Not for me.
Good robot designs though.
Yes, very good robot designs.
Okay. You go next.
I gotta admit that it's just the face thing. All right, so my next song is "The Story of OJ" by Jay-Z, directed by Jay-Z and Mark Romanek.
Yes, there's a lot of great music videos that came out of that album. 444, I think it was.
Yeah.
A lot of great music videos came out of that.
Yeah, there were.
Album. One was directed by the.
To me, though.
Yeah.
To me, though, this video stands head and shoulders above anything else on that album, but also actually just most other music videos in general.
I just thought I really liked the one where the one music video from that album where they do the Friends parody. I almost included it on my list. Where it's from the song.
I did like that, to be fair.
Okay, I don't have much to say about this music video. I love it. I think it's fantastic. I almost included it on my list, actually. The animation style, of course, is very reminiscent of that 40s thing. Last year for school, not last year, Jesus, like a year and a half ago when I was in high school, I did a presentation on a guy called Snafu. It was an old American propaganda cartoon from the 40s. Racist propaganda. And it was like voiced by Mel Blanc, and it was written by Dr. Seuss. Believe it or not.
Okay.
And it's a lot of racist Japanese caricatures from that time. But the animation style reminded me very much of that, and it's just like this style.
Yeah.
You've got so much happening at once. It's just, that's all I have to say. It's fantastic. It looks visually great.
Sure.
It holds your attention. When I listen to that song by itself, I think of the music video. So by my criteria, it works.
Yeah, it definitely has that effect for me, and it's I think it's one of the best songs about race and race relations in America, and the whole song, at least in my opinion, why it's called The Story of OJ is because basically it's about how wealth and fame and notoriety and that kind of thing can basically transcend race and can transcend all those that's why he keeps using the N-word over and over again, and
I'm not black, I'm OJ, he says in the song.
Right, different versions of African Americans throughout history of America, basically showing this is our history, but with these tools, with money and fame, we can clean up these communities. We can transcend race and become icons, and that is another way of feeding back into our community. And I think it's a fantastic song with a lot of subtext, and just the animation is it's on point. It's amazing to watch. So that's all I've got on that one.
I think we'll move on to the next one, which is Paper Bag by Fiona Apple, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. Again, Paul Thomas Anderson coming in clutch. What did you think of this one?
So I liked the song. I thought it was a fun, upbeat song. I liked the direction. I thought it was very upbeat, very fun. And I liked the use of the boys in suits and dancing and whatnot. I thought that was really nice. Yeah, it was really nice visually. I loved the last 30 seconds with that bluish, noirish lighting. I thought that was fantastic. My only issue with it was that I thought she overacted in it. And that was my same problem with the other music video as well. In both, I just thought she just, I don't know, she just was overacting for me. and everything else I thought about it was fun, and I enjoyed watching it, and it was well directed. But it was just that one thing. Overall, though, really fun. I really enjoyed the song and the video.
The overacting, I never saw it that way. I think it's very much intentional. It doesn't come across that way to me. That's interesting that you see it that way, though. I agree with you. The lighting is fantastic. The camera work is extremely unique, in my opinion. I've been trying to find a way to kind of put my thoughts into words and why I love the camera work in this music video, because it's not just one thing. For a lot of it, it's just her kind of following the camera, following her around, which I really enjoy. But what really comes across as unique is just the relationship between the subject and the camera in the music video.
Yeah.
That I found very.
Yeah,
very
that is very true. The way that it weaves with her through
the of little kids,
different environments and whatnot. Yeah, that's very true. The camera movement was, honestly, the word I use is quite enchanting. It really brings you along with it, and it's weirdly upbeat for Paul Thomas Anderson. You know, it was fun to see it. I
mentioned this last week. But I saw this music video without knowing he directed it. I knew that he dated Fiona Apple at one point, but I didn't know he directed this music video. And I saw the music video, and I was like, has to be him. There's no way this is not Paul Thomas Anderson. There's no way. This is like, even though it's not his normal style in terms of like, he doesn't normally do this upbeat stuff, it's very clearly him in the camera work, the lighting.
Yeah.
The lighting in this is just very reminiscent of what he was doing in Punch Drunk Love around the same time. And so I was like, I'm seeing these connections very clearly.
That's very true. This one did have a very Punch Drunk Love tone. Even though I think that film is fine.
The blue lighting to me.
Yeah.
Gave it away.
I love that at the end. And
at the start.
To me, yeah. The use of that, I was just like, chef's kiss, you know? Yeah. I love that aspect of it. But it was fun overall. I did enjoy it.
We can move on.
Okay, so my next song is, which this is probably the one I'm most excited to hear what you think, is Pillow Talking by Lil Dicky, which is directed by Tony Yacenda.
Has Tony Yacenda done anything else? Do you know?
Yeah, well, he's a freaking collaborator with Lil Dicky.
Did he do that dumb music video where it was animated around the world? That came out like.
Oh, the Earth one.
Yeah.
That video. I don't know actually.
That song sucks.
Yeah, it's yeah. I like Lil Dicky. I'm not a fan of that one though.
This is my first time listening to Lil Dicky outside of that song. I did not like this very much.
Really? Okay.
So at first I was like, what's going on here? These two people are in bed together. Okay. And then it started into the pillow top scenario, and I started enjoying that.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, but like I can see this going on. I can see this going on and being fun. But then it went into the more fantastical elements with the little aliens and the brain, and I was like, and it lost there.
See.
And so elements of this were charming when they were like the actions, and they were the lip syncing to both his voices was fun. And you know they were acting well. I thought. Also, I thought Lil Dicky looks like he looks like he'd be a comedic side character in a Seth Rogen movie.
Yeah, that's true. I can see that.
I did not like the song, and it did nothing for me. But yeah, elements of this were charming. It goes on for too long. It's like 8 minutes. I was like, this is too much. 4 minutes max, you know.
Okay.
The music video further dragged it out, you know.
For me personally, I think that I enjoyed the shit out of this music video, mainly just because I like how it's a conversation, and
that part was charming. I like that part.
I like how it's it's a conversation between them, and I like the use of the visual effects and like putting the worlds, creating the worlds that they were talking about around them. I thought it was, visually very interesting and well done. It's all one take. Well, it's not all one take, but like those sequences, those sequences are as they swivel around, right?
Yeah.
which I really liked, and I thought visually from that standpoint it was well done. I think parts of it aren't great. I thought the use of like the brain character was like, I thought it was fine until the end, and then that little thing got really annoying the last like minute or two for me, and whatnot. But I have so much fun with this music video because it's about these like intellectual, larger than life conversations, but in like a post-sex scenario, which like is a thing, and I think that's interesting to explore that, like that space after sex in a one night stand scenario.
I didn't mind the conversations at first. I thought that there was a brief moment where I was like, this is kind of charming, and I liked the flow of the music video when it like after the sex sequence and before they start like going into the whole like there are aliens around, and I'm like, this part is charming. The back and forth, the two, Little Dicky and the actress, they were working well off each other. I enjoyed it, and then it just kind of went on and on and on, and I was like, I want this to be over.
Yeah. I don't think it could be 4 minutes. I think it could be a couple minutes less. But overall, I mainly picked this one because it's so different.
It is very different.
And I think there's something to be said for that. And it's one of those music videos I remember watching for the first time, being like, this isn't a typical music video. Because I don't watch a lot of music videos. I only watch stuff to me that is different. And I really enjoy the flair and the conversation of the video. So I'm really a fan of it. And it makes that criteria for me where if I hear the song now, I'm going to be visualizing what the video was in my head. So it definitely fits that criteria.
Okay. Are we ready to move on?
Yeah. What's your next one?
Since we just talked about Fiona Apple, I'll jump to the other Fiona Apple music video I have on here, Criminal. This one's a bit older. It's from her first album, not directed by Paul Thomas Anderson.
Sure.
I didn't look up who directed it. So what did you think of this one? Because I have a lot to say.
Where is it in my notes? Oh, there it is. I thought this one was fine. So what I found most interesting about it was the way that the camera would like pan or tilt. Like those camera movements I thought were super interesting, but I thought the lighting effect was really cheap to me. Of just like putting the spotlight on her. It's like, oh, she's bad, she's a criminal, this and that, and it's just like that's not what that was meant. That's not how I took it. There's a pattern throughout this episode of the podcast where it's me and Ryan just taking very, very different takeaways from the certain of course
in the music video. So to me, very clearly, the lighting effect to me is meant to be like it's like almost like a cop shining his flashlight into somewhere. You're not meant to see it. It's like uncovering this thing that you're not meant to see, because it's not just shining on her. It's shining on all these like semi-nude bodies lying around this house, and it's meant to be like a Hollywood like orgy type scenario. It's like what went on here? It's like, should I even be seeing this? And that's why the light's there. It's like you're getting a glimpse of something you should be seeing. And I very much like the lighting scenario. It wasn't like to spotlight her. It's meant to like peer into this little like facet of life. And
I can see that,
but you can't. It's uncomfortable to an extent, even though they don't show anything.
And I am going to push back a little bit, just because I think I see that for a lot of it, but I also do think that isn't always the case, because the majority of the time that spotlight is on her.
Yeah.
And it didn't always work for me. However, you have made me think, like, that explanation has made me like the video more.
Yeah.
Overall, I still think it is a good video. I like the paper bag video a lot more.
Me too.
But this was an interesting one.
Yeah,
and like it's Paul Thomas Anderson. So you're always going to get at least something interesting.
This is not Paul.
Is it not?
Oh, I mentioned that.
Oh.
No.
No.
He doesn't. He's directed, to my knowledge, 3 of her music videos. Maybe he did more. 2 of them while they were together, and like another one years later. But Paper Bag of the one is the best one. He might have done more, but this is someone else from her first album before she met him. But yeah, no, I really,
Sure.
it's not like my favorite of hers, but I really enjoy it. Yeah, that's all I have to say on it. You go to the next
Yeah.
one.
My next one, because we did a little bit of a joking one last time. My next one is "Finest Girl" by The Lonely Island.
Yes. Okay. I love the movie Pop Star Never Stop, Never Stop Stopping,
Me
or whatever
too.
the title is. I'm make up
Yeah,
my own title.
that is the title.
Yeah, whatever it is. Pop
I
Star,
love that.
great movie. This is an excerpt from that film. It's a music video for a song they made for that movie that appears in the film.
But the music video does not appear in the film.
Does it not? I thought it did.
I thought they showed clips of it. Like they were like his new song, "Finest Girl." They show parts of this music video, but then they move on.
I think they show the full music video, and I think you're thinking of the other song, the gay rights song.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
they
you might be right
they
about
only
that.
show excerpts of the gay rights song, but I think they
I haven't
showed
seen
this
it.
one in full.
I haven't seen it in about a year, even though I love that film.
I saw it a couple months ago. It holds up so well.
It's the most. I think it's the most underrated comedy of like probably the 2010s. And
yeah.
I could use that word for this film. I can use that word for this film.
I don't like it when you use that word. It's dirty.
I know you don't.
It's a dirty word.
This fits this film so well. It made no money. Like some people, it wasn't a huge hit with audiences or critics.
I think it
did reasonably.
I think
it did reasonably well.
Critically,
no, it was like mid-70s.
Financially, it did poorly, but I don't know. Let me look up the Rotten Tomatoes.
Mid-70s is a good score, but for how good that film is, that is pretty low.
I'm checking right now. Yeah, 79. That's a bit lower than I thought it'd be.
Yeah.
But the audience.
See what I mean?
The audience scores at 65. What the hell?
Underrated.
Yes,
underrated.
I guess.
Anyways, so I was gonna pick a Lonely Island song anyways because I think that they're hilarious and that they've got great music videos. I mean, they revolutionized the digital shorts on SNL, so they really know their way around.
They did.
They know their way around a music video and these little shorts as well. They do a great job. My other option was YOLO because that's the first Lonely Island music video and song I heard, and I love the music video and I love that song. But I picked this just because, one, I wanted to shout out Pop Star. We are a film podcast. This comes from the film. But also, it is so funny. It is so funny.
This is my favorite Lonely Island song.
This is my top two. YOLO and this are the best ones.
It's an underrated Lonely Island song because it came later in their career. Because all their hits came out around the early 2010s.
It came with a film that most people didn't see.
Yes. And people, like, when you ask people's favorite songs, they usually say something like Jack Sparrow or something like that. But this is by far the best one, in my opinion.
This is their best.
Yeah.
So funny.
Vanessa
so
Bayer
clever.
is great in this. They've got a bunch of SNL people in this. It's just the song is great. But talking about the music video, the whole idea of a co-op mission to kill Bin Laden mixed with betting a woman. They mix those visuals together so well. It's a take
the night
on
vision.
Pop.
The way that they use night. The way they use night vision later was brilliant.
Yeah. No, but even she's
so good.
Him in a war room on how to have sex with her, and he's like in a military outfit in camo, and his face is all over the place.
His facial expressions are priceless in that.
Also, there's a story.
Good. And also when they use Fred Armisen and I can't remember the other guy's name from SNL, Beck Bennett.
Jay Farrow as Obama.
But the way that they use Beck Bennett and Fred Armisen as Bin Laden and Uncle Sam, it's just so funny. It's just so funny, and the way they have Adam Sandberg like getting like this like lingerie one piece, and then like get close-ups of his butt, like jiggling dice. It's just like it's absurd. Yeah, it's ridiculous, but it's so funny, and it fits the tone of the song perfectly. Yeah. It's genuinely watching this. I have such a smile on my face, and I rewatched it several times. It's brilliant.
The bit when it's like
energy is so great. Yeah,
when it's like when it's just like I'm a smash or like. And he's like pointing at her ass or some shit. It's so funny. Yeah. It's so funny. Also, there's a story.
Brilliant.
I should have looked it up. In the UK, someone was playing this in their garden at like a barbecue, and the cops were called. And like there was a big commotion because someone was playing this song loud in the backyard. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Maybe someone found it offensive.
Don't have more to say. Great song. It's just insane.
Yeah.
It's
hilarious. And honestly, it's that perfect blend of humor that's like, it's so dumb, but also like, it's creative how dumb it is.
How did you come up with this?
And it's just like, what scenario would you begin to think, you know what, sex is just like raiding Osama bin Laden's house? Like, what a weird concept.
You've got all the backup dancers in camo doing little like.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah, fantastic. And like, it's just.
And it cuts to Vanessa Bayer.
Akiva Goldsman. The scraggly little like
Osama bin Laden beard.
So yeah, I didn't say who directed the video.
It's
Akiva Schaffer. Akiva Schaffer. He's a really good director. Actually, he does a lot of their music videos. He directed him and Joe Matecone. I think they together directed Popstar.
I saw Jorma at a distance.
But yeah, it's great.
In October, I saw him at a distance. Because he was at the London Film Festival.
Cannot believe.
For his wife, and I just saw him at a distance, and I was like, "It's Jorma!" So good.
I'm so hyped.
No, I was like, it's one of the Lonely Island guys.
You should have shouted that, because he probably would have come over to talk to you, because I bet he doesn't get that a lot.
I wish. He was busy. I didn't want to bug him.
Of course. Anyway, so that's
all the Lonely Island guys are great. Have you seen the Bash Brothers thing they did last year on Netflix?
Yeah, I have. I really like that.
I don't like it as much.
Thought it was really different.
Their other stuff.
No, it's not as good as their other stuff, but I really enjoyed it for what it was. I thought it was very interesting and dynamic that way.
Yeah.
But okay, so that's
move on.
Finest Girl.
Okay. Next, Lazarus. David Bowie music video. You go.
So, good song. I like the song a lot.
Inspired, influenced
the video itself.
The song, by the way, the whole album, it has an influence of To Pimp a Butterfly. Because
what is that?
The Kendrick Lamar album.
Oh.
Because
that makes more sense.
That album fused hip hop and jazz, and he did that. He fused more like kind of rock and jazz in the song and album, and so that was an inspiration on the album.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead. Talk about the music video.
So the music video overall, for a long time, I thought it was great. I love the use of the aspect ratio.
Mm-hmm.
The aspect, like, it's great. It's really artful. The palette is gray, but it is a sharp gray. You know what I mean?
Good way of putting it.
It's not dull. It's not dull, but the colors are dull, if that makes sense. So I thought that was great. I love the visual of his bandage over his head with like the buttons eyes.
That character is called Button Eyes. It's one of my favorite David Bowie characters. The visual image of that is incredible.
I love it. I love the visual image of that. I love the way the camera would like rotate around and like be upside down or on its side as it like goes under his bed and like shows the thing there, or like reaching up. I thought that was all fantastic, and like all those visuals are made more dynamic by that aspect ratio. And then about halfway through, I don't know if this is a metaphor, but he jumps out of a closet or a wardrobe, and then he starts doing really goofy, weird things, where he starts dancing weird and like looking off in the distance weird and pretending to write, and then like whatnot, and it's weird, and it's not. If the whole video had that tone, fine, but it felt really different than the dark edginess of the first half of the video. So
that's
overall,
interesting. I never thought about it that way.
But those sections where they show him in that room, without his eyes covered, I was just like, no thanks. But the rest of it I loved.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way, that it clashes tonally with the start. Because you could see it as goofy. I don't. I see it like as a senile old man on his deathbed. Like,
okay.
By the way, little Easter egg.
I see that as well.
When he gets out of the closet and he's doing a goofy dance and he's like kind of moving his hips, that outfit he's wearing, which is like a black striped leotard kind of.
Yeah.
He wore that outfit for a photo shoot in the 70s, and it's like a callback to that. And so it's like a bunch of callbacks, stuff like that. And I just, what you said was perfect about the gray, sharp color palette, because you're perfectly right.
Yeah.
The aspect ratio is fantastic. You've got kind of this death lurking in the closet and under his bed. This woman kind of.
Yeah, I really like that.
The song is really about death.
I thought the song was really good.
It's so good. The music video and the song.
Yeah, the song was really good, and I thought the music video was great as well, because like I thought the production design was great lighting. It was just I get what you mean as being like the senile old man, but it was weird. And then at the very end, last shot is him like creeping back into the closet. I'm just like, is this a metaphor for something?
I don't.
Like, I just don't understand. I don't really understand.
I don't think it's a metaphor for what you think when it comes to a closet.
That was my first thought, and then I thought, it's not that, because David Bowie wasn't gay, was he?
He slept with men.
He was bisexual.
He was
bisexual.
He said a lot of things. He came out as gay and then said he was bisexual and then said he was a closet heterosexual. So there's a lot of things going on there. But he definitely did have relationships with men at some point in time. But he was married to two women. So
okay,
married twice.
Well, I didn't. So I kind of dropped that because I knew he was bisexual. I couldn't understand what it was about and what it was for, so it really threw me off. I
don't really get it either, but I still like it.
I still really enjoyed the video overall. Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that. We can move on to your pick.
Yeah. My next one, this is the only one where I have two songs by the same artist, so we'll talk about them at once.
Oh, yes. And
the reason I did this is because I've got two Childish Gambino music videos. The reason I did this is because it's impossible to not talk about This Is America. I feel like if we're doing a music video episode, because I definitely feel like that is the biggest, most influential music video of the 2010s, and I feel like we have to talk about it.
I don't know what the most
for me personally.
Hey! You're leaving out Gangnam Style. How dare you?
That's just not influential. It's just
excuse
popular.
Me. People were doing the Gangnam Dance for years after that music video came out. How dare you say it wasn't influential?
That's not what I mean by influential, but you can take that if you like.
We did the Gangnam Style dance in my PE class in 2012. Respect the dance. Respect the cultural impact that Psy had. I have Gangnam Style on my list. No, I don't.
Oh, thank God.
My list. My following list is my list is Gooba, Gangnam Style, all the hits.
Well, guys, that was a great. We had a great run as a podcast here, but unfortunately, I had to resign. So
you're replaceable.
I feel like no, I feel like we can talk about, like, we can't talk about Childish Gambino without talking about This America. But I think that his best music video and one of my favorite songs of his is Sweatpants. So both music videos are directed by Hiro. What's his last name? I don't want to pronounce. Hiro Murai.
Yeah,
it's
Hiro
Murai.
Murai. That's it.
Hiro Murai.
He did most of Atlanta as well.
So I want to talk about This America first, because I have such a split feeling on this. I'm gonna call it this piece of art, because I think it's what it is.
My hot take is that the music video is much better than the song.
I 100% agree. That's exactly what I was going to say, because I think that the song's lyrics, fantastic. I think that the upbeat parts with the chorus, with the choir and whatnot, like the intro and outros, great. But the song itself, I think, is lit down by the beat. I think like the production of the beat itself, sounds like the most standard SoundCloud rapper stuff to me. Even though I think the lyrics are really strong, and I like that outro. So the song as a whole, I think, is fine. I think the music video is insane.
I don't really listen to the song outside of the music video.
Me neither. I don't think I've ever listened to it outside of the music video.
This music video, I thought about this. This music video came out like right around the time you were gonna graduate high school or doing your final
It
exam.
did.
Because it came out
I remember
about exactly 2 years ago.
I remember very well when this song came out. Very well. So I agree with you. Song is fine, but the music video is great because if I'm not mistaken, it's all one shot, and it travels him.
It's not one shot.
It is up until the end. I'm pretty sure.
I don't
because it weaves through all these rooms with him and whatnot.
No. There are
it's made to look like one.
No,
shot,
there are very explicit cuts before even the end because it cuts from like it. No, it's made to look like one shot, but it's very clearly not.
Oh no, it's not. Yeah, it's not all one shot. Yeah. But it is. It is made to look like one.
I don't even consider it's made to look like it because it's so obviously not. Sort of to the point where it's like.
Oh really?
Yeah, like 1917. Of course, lots of cuts there, but it's made to look like one thing. It's just made to look continuous, but I wouldn't even say one shot because there are very clear areas where they cut and like change settings. Sure. So continuous, yes, but one shot made to look like one shot, maybe not. But
okay,
it has a very continuous flow.
It does, and I like the energy. I think his dance movements are incredible. Mm-hmm. What he does with his body, I think, is astounding. Some of the imagery, when it comes to, shooting a man with a bag on his head, who has a bag over his head. Him shooting down that gospel choir. Some of the imagery of
the people running in the background,
running down. Yeah, people running around, burning cop cars. I feel like it's what I love about the music video is something that he said afterwards, which is everyone was trying to pick it apart, look for the symbols and look for all that stuff. And I'll say this, and then we can offer your thoughts, but then I want to move on from this America. And just that he was like, I made it to make it. Whatever you choose to see in there is up to you. I'm not going to tell you what you should see. Because to me, I just made a song and a music video I'm proud of. Anything else you choose to see is up to you. And I love that because I don't think a lot of artists have that kind of peace within themselves to just be like, I'm making this for others, and it's their interpretation. Make about as what they will, because of course the video is loaded with symbols and metaphors and like whatnot. Like I remember when it came out, everyone was talking about like the pants he was wearing, because apparently it was. If I remember correctly, it was either
the dance move he does at the start is like Jim Crow stuff. It's evoking Jim Crow imagery with the pants and the
So like it's definitely all there. So I just think it's a really interesting music video, and it's an excellent one. Just the song's okay. But for me, I think Sweatpants is a better song. I really like the song a lot. And this one is made to look like one shot.
Yep.
100% this one is. And I think that it works really well. I like the psychedelic nature of it as each time he comes in, the heads it gradually becomes every person has his face in the diner and whatnot. I think visually it's super interesting. It carries the energy of the song really well. Even though I feel like even though the video is not reflecting what the song is talking about, it reflects its energy, and I really enjoy it for that. I think it's super fun to watch. And yeah, I think the word I use, psychedelic, is a perfect use for it. So
I don't really care for the song or the music video. I like his music, but this didn't work for me really much.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't have anything to say about it really.
That's fair.
Let me actually look for my notes on this because I didn't really pick up on anything very unique outside the psychedelic effects you were talking about. There was good camera work, which is expected.
Yeah.
A lot of Donald
Very
Glover.
well directed.
I wrote, "What's the point?" And I like the second half more when it goes away from the diner.
Yeah, and that was something also that they did in This America, where you've got the main section and then the last 30 seconds to a minute, the song takes on a different tempo, and the music video does as well. And I love that stylistic choice about Mirai's music videos. I love that in both of them.
There's another Childish Gambino music video set in a diner that I prefer, and it's sober, and it's him like dancing around a diner trying to woo a lady.
I liked I liked that
I
one.
also like the song more, but I prefer that one.
Yeah, the song's really good.
Okay.
I like the music video more for this one, so I picked it. So yeah.
At the start of this, you mentioned that 3 of the music videos on my list you thought were like very well put together. Anima was one of them. What are the 2 other ones?
Anima's one. So the best one out of mine and yours is LCD Sound System's "Oh Baby."
Ooh, you like that one a lot, huh?
That was the best one. It is not even a competition.
Oh wow.
To be honest, we could have a full episode. On that video.
Oh, I'm so happy you liked it. I realized late in the game I should put it on my list. I almost forgot to put it on my list.
Man, I was
directed by Ryan Johnson of The Last Jedi, Luther, and Knives Out fame.
What a filmmaker.
What a man. You know? What a lad.
Yeah, I love him. And he directed the best episodes of Breaking Bad as well, hands down.
That is true. Ozymandias.
Ozymandias. I think Fly is one of the best episodes.
People who don't love the Fly episode are
wrong. They don't get Breaking Bad. I'm telling you, Breaking Bad. That episode I think is the most pivotal episode in the entire show. There's Breaking Bad before Fly, and there's Breaking Bad after Fly. To me, yeah. Anyways,
going back to "Oh Baby" by LCD Sound System.
Yeah,
the song slaps.
Man, the song is amazing.
The
song is an absolute slapper.
Have you heard "Dance Yourself Clean" by LCD Sound System?
No.
I am putting out a recommendation for everyone to watch on YouTube. LCD Sound System, "Dance Yourself Clean." There's a live performance they recorded, I think, at Madison Square Garden or something like that, and it is incredible because that song has one of the greatest drops in any song ever. And seeing a live recording of that is amazing. So I recommend that. Otherwise, this song is fantastic. It has...
Yeah. The song itself, I'm going to listen to continuously, even without watching the video. I love the song, right?
Song's great.
But man, so good. Yeah,
so you got Sissy Spacek and this other guy I don't know.
Yeah.
And at the start...
Wait, you don't... Wait, was that a joke or you actually don't know?
I've seen him in stuff before. Who is he?
Wow, I knew him and not Sissy Spacek. You had to tell me that was Sissy Spacek.
Wait, who's the guy?
That's David Strathairn. David Strathairn.
Damon.
He's a big guy. He's a big character actor.
How do I write his name? Straight. What's he been in?
Just look up the Good Night, Good Luck. Good Night and Good Luck, which is that George Clooney directed film.
Oh, okay, yeah, he's in that.
He's in Godzilla. He's a character actor, and he's
in
really
Godzilla.
Good.
I've seen that one. I haven't seen much of the stuff he's in, but I definitely recognize him from stuff. I recognize him. I didn't know he's in The Darkest Hour. Apparently, I definitely recognize him, but I like Sissy Spacek. I just like, bam. Also, Sissy Spacek kind of looks like my grandmother, so I'm always like, hey, it's Sissy Spacek.
Yeah.
No, they're both fantastic in this. They're this old couple, and you're like, what's going on at the start? They're doing math formulas and all these algorithms, and you're like, what's going on? It's shot really well with these insane macro lens close-ups on them writing these formulas, which the cinematography, it's by Ryan Johnson's cinematographer, who he's worked with on everything pretty much. It's the guy who did Luther, Last Jedi, and Knives Out. But the cinematography in this is completely different to all his other projects.
Yeah, it is.
Because you've got the camera panning a lot, which he doesn't do that much. Just straight up pans.
There are definitely a lot of great visual flares like that. And I'd also say great use of wide shots as well.
Wide shots.
It's just, for me, it was a roller coaster because it started out and I was like, all right. So they're starting the math equation, but they're an old married couple. Okay, they're just great. They're coming together on something. That's what it's gonna be about. And then they start building. I'm like, oh, all right. What are they building? Then they move somewhere else, and they're being cute and stuff. And then they show that it's this kind of sci-fi thing, and I'm like, whoa, okay, that's different.
Yeah. I knew you liked the sci-fi element.
And then where it goes, with them getting robbed and she gets killed, I was in tears. I was crying.
Oh, Ryan. Why?
But not just because it was sad.
Why go quiet?
But because the way that they used that song, right? The way that sorry, I can't quite say what I'm thinking, but the way that the video visualizes the tone of the song in that moment, I thought was gorgeous, and it really struck me emotionally. And then I was like, oh, I'm crying my eyes out. This is already an insane video. And then you get to that absolutely like fantastic,
amazing
ambiguous ending. And I was just like, this is. I haven't seen enough music videos, but of what I've seen, this might be like my favorite music video.
Wow.
Because it's a short film.
No, it's
a short film that has music.
The narrative, the song doesn't really have a narrative. It's just like, oh baby,
No.
it's like a song about the person you love, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't
right.
But the music video, it has
I love the song.
a very original narrative.
Yeah.
And so
it does.
Yeah, no, fantastic. And the editing is also to the beat because it's got this very
perfect.
Yeah.
It's so perfect. Man, as we're talking about this right now, I just want to watch it again. I just want to watch it again and listen to the song.
I almost forgot to put it on my list, so I'm happy I did.
I'm so happy you did, man. I can't tell you this one. I have so much love for it. Just so much love for it.
The sci-fi element is fantastic, and
it's
that
great.
ending.
It's great, and the ending is great because all I can think about is where'd they go. And in my mind, I've got all these different ideas.
In between there and somewhere else, and it's
and metaphorically, it makes so much sense.
No, it's
right.
Fantastic.
He's left in a void without his wife. It's why Rian Johnson is such a wonderful filmmaker. I don't love Knives Out, but some of his other stuff.
You're wrong about Knives Out. Just because it's not a standard.
My mom loves whodunits, and she watched Knives Out on the plane. She tried to. And after I was dying laughing. She was like, well, after about half an hour, they kind of revealed who it was. So I just lost interest. I understand where the mystery was. So I turned it off and I was like, yes, she gets it.
Mrs. Collins is wrong. Mrs. Collins is false.
She said it was good, but she was like, I just didn't understand why I keep watching at this point. I was advertised it was going to be a whodunit, and I just knew who it was. And I was like, oh, there's later twist, later. So like, oh, okay, this is not. That's interesting. And she liked that when I explained it to her, but like, yeah. Anyways, just this is an unbelievable music video, and it's just like I've already after I watched it, I sent it to my girlfriend and a few of my friends. And I was just like, watch this.
Oh wow, really?
Please watch this.
I felt good now.
I loved it so much. So
no, it really is. The cinematography really stands out. I think
it's great.
You do have these amazing shots of just like really close up. It's very warm. I think they shot it. I don't know what they shot it on, but it could be analog film, celluloid. Yeah. So it looks wonderful. It's palpable. It's great. It is. I'm a big fan of this one.
Palpable is a great word for it.
Big fan of this one. I remember it came out recently. Actually, it came out like a year ago. A bit more than a year ago. But I watched it the day it came out because the album came out years ago, and then the music video came out of nowhere. And I was like, oh shit.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's not even funny. I fell in love with it.
Yeah, you did two music videos. You did two music videos at once, so I'm gonna go quickly with another one.
Sure.
Wait, do you have another one that you particularly liked out of my list that we should address?
I did, and it was the Shia LaBeouf penis one.
Yes, that's my nickname for it.
I thought that was those were like my top 3, and then after that there were 2 more where I was like, those are also great.
Okay.
But this one was the last of like the main trio that I thought were like I thought it was beautiful. I thought the way that they're dancing articulated so much about whatever the context of this relationship might be. And there were parts of it that were a bit strange, but I felt like it fit the tone. And I felt like the imagery with the butterflies and when he goes ballistic.
By the way, I should name the song. I should probably name the song. It's
I cannot. I have no idea how to pronounce it. You go for it.
I think the band is Icelandic. It's Sugar Rose. They're quite famous actually. But the song is Fugar Piano. Just look up Shia LaBeouf music video and don't watch the Sia one. It's the other one.
Yeah.
It's
the other one.
Yeah.
It is great. I thought the acting was fantastic. There was
dude, the shots of him crying.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
Heartbreak.
And there's no dialogue, and it's already heartbreaking.
Yeah,
and
I did not expect you to like
I
this
love
music
Shia
video.
LaBeouf so
I
much.
kind of put it as a joke on here because I knew you wouldn't like it.
I
So
loved it.
I'm shooketh that you like this
Really?
one. Yeah.
Why would you think
I don't know.
why would you think I would?
I don't know, because it's very long and nonsensical.
Oh,
but,
you know what? There is one part I hated.
Which one?
Which is the bit when they're in the car, and there's like a panel of images flashing behind them.
I don't like that part
It's
either.
not very long. It's really brief, so it doesn't overall impact my feeling on the video. But I thought that was so stupid, and it took me out of
I don't like that
the
part
rawness of the emotion between Shia LaBeouf and Sia.
It's not Sia.
Is it Sia? Who is it?
No,
is it?
Someone
It
else.
looked like Sia. Who was it? Do you know
Sia
who it was?
is
Someone
like
else?
All right, well,
between
Sia's like a 40-year-old woman.
they had similar haircuts.
Yeah, but Sia doesn't actually have that haircut in real life. I'll look up who it is just to be sure, but that is not Sia.
Well, I thought I loved it. I thought it communicated so much through body language, and I always have such an admiration for film or anything similar that can communicate things without words, and this does it through music, and it does it through body language. And I think it's very emotional. It really grabs you, and I really loved it. This is also one of those I'll definitely be rewatching because I thought the music itself was beautiful as well. I love this.
And then you saw Shia LaBeouf's penis and you liked it even more.
Which, I'm not gonna lie, it was a bit bigger than I thought it'd be. You know, I probably shouldn't say that, but you know, this tape was a little bit bigger than I thought it was going to be. But I actually enjoyed the use of nudity in the video. It felt
nudity used a good effect.
It'll be used against me. It's like, well, you know, we were gonna hire you from this really great job position, Ryan, but you said this comment about Shia LaBeouf's dick, and now we're just not sure. But I loved the video, and I thought the use of nudity in specific was interesting because it's raw. I don't know, it made the intimacy between the two of them. Yeah, it is raw. That's it's perfect adjective for this. It's raw, and I really loved it. I'm surprised you thought I wouldn't have that.
I don't know. It's very out there and confusing.
It's very
the other actress
artistic,
is
but
called,
I think in a good way.
It's called Danette Thompson, and she's worked as miscellaneous crew on a bunch of projects. She probably is a dancer and has done like choreography stuff for movies, but she worked on Birds of Prey and other stuff. But not as an actress.
Stuff, yeah. Well, she was very good, and he was too.
No, it's just like
and no surprise because who's directed by
Alma Harrell.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, exactly.
Honey Boy fame, Alma Harrell.
Yeah. And when I was watching the video, when I watched it at the end, you know, I'd forgotten that she directed it, and I thought makes sense. It's got that level of artistry and beauty
and
rawness that Honey Boy has. That I love.
She can make my boy Shia cry.
Yeah, she can. Yes, she can. And I hope they keep working together because they just crank out some amazing work. Really amazing work. So yeah, I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah. Pick one.
All right. Anything else you'd like to add on that one?
That one. No.
All right, my next. Okay. My next one is, you know.
I know what you're gonna say.
Which one do I go with next? I don't know. Because looking at
I'll pick one from your list. I'll pick one from your list.
Okay.
Let me check.
Okay, good idea.
Which ones I liked?
Out of the ones that are left, just pick your favorite one. Out of what's left.
I really like Humble. You picked Humble by Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll talk about that. I'm a big fan. I don't love Kendrick Lamar. I think that. Yeah, I think that his music, like his lyrics, some of the best writing you'll find in music. But when it comes to like the actual sound, I'm never particularly in love with it. And I feel like that with this song. I think the song's good. But similar to This Is America, I think the music video is incredible. I love the imagery. I love there's this effect they use where like they pan to different angles and they do it really quick.
When he's doing the Steve Jobs thing.
What that effect's called.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
and
they do that. Yeah, they do that a couple times, and I love that effect. And I also think, you know, the image of him with his head on fire and the other other people's heads on fire as well. I think it's just it's I think an iconic, you know, shot in music videos, and it is really excellent.
I'm usually not a fan of a music video that has like a million different set pieces just because they can't afford it.
Sure.
I'm usually more for simplistic stuff. And this one, it totally earns all the various set pieces because they're all just great.
It does.
They're all great. It's a great music video. If I listen to the song, I can
because
only think about music video.
They put in the same level of artistry and production design in each set piece. Mm-hmm. So it's not like you know, what's it called? It's not like part of it is amazing and then, you know, for budget reasons the rest of it doesn't look great, but this definitely does. And I love the pacing of the video as well.
Yep.
It really takes you well up through the crescendo, and there's a lot of religious iconography throughout the video, but in contrast to another music video by a black rapper, which I don't know if we'll get to talk about, but we
can talk about it real quick.
I think
let's go real quick into that, actually. We can
talk about it quick. Yeah, we can go quick.
Let's run through our last ones and wrap
another
it up.
video another one I picked was Jesus Walks by Kanye West, and there's a lot of religious iconography in that as well.
But that
I think is used more so, even though Kanye West is a big, you know, is a very religious person and believes in Jesus and whatnot. I feel like the religious iconography in that video is actually used quite negatively, and more of a harsher connotation, versus the religious iconography in Humble, I feel like is a lot more like it's an aspect of his identity, and it's what makes him humble, right? It's what gives him that edge, you know? Whereas I feel like when Kanye is talking about it, even though I think Jesus Walks is a great Kanye West song, and I really like the music video because I feel like it's a very hard-hitting music video. It's a great song from what is probably his best album, and I think that I don't like Kanye West as a person because his ego is so huge, and I just like the fact that looking at how Lamar used same kind of iconography and just said and used it in a way that was like, you know, I'm humble because of this, whereas Kanye was like, I'm big because of this. And I feel like that's the difference between them as artists, and why I like Kendrick Lamar better as an artist, and why I like Humble more probably as a music video, even though I do like the Jesus Walks video.
Yeah, Jesus Walks video, don't really care for it. The cutaways to Kanye with the fire suck, in my opinion. It looks lame and dated.
Yeah, it does. That part does.
Everything else is kind of neat. All the cutaways they do, I like all that stuff. Don't have much to say. It was a pretty short song or music video that went by really fast.
Yeah.
Humble, a lot of religious imagery in that, with the Last Supper and all.
Yeah.
And him dressed up in the outfit at the start.
Mm-hmm. Or as a pope.
Yeah. No, all of that is great. Don't have much to say about those, but they're great.
It's just better. And well, the thing about Jesus Walks that I found interesting was just, I liked how it was like, okay, you know, the current day prison system is essentially modern day slavery, and like he kind of like, I feel like the video touches upon that, but also is like following a white supremacist who eventually gets burnt by his own cross, which I thought was a cool little, you know, metaphor kind of thing. I enjoyed that. So but yeah, definitely comparisons to be drawn between the two, and Humble is just, the production of that video is fantastic. So all right, what's your next one?
Do you want to just pick one you liked from the list?
Sure. So the next one I really liked was you know what? There's 3 left of yours I really enjoyed.
Let's do all 3 of them at once, really quick.
All right. So Brockhampton's Face, Tyler the Creator's Best Interest, and Talking Heads' Road to Nowhere.
Okay.
So the Brockhampton one, I loved it. you know, it's one of the earlier ones I watched. At that point, it was my favorite. It's like, I'd say my fourth favorite now. But I love the aesthetic. I love the black and white aesthetic. Again, great use of the aspect ratio, and I really enjoyed it because it had that mid 90s vibe, the film mid 90s.
Yeah, I can see that.
Where it was like teen angst against this kind of like within this, you know, group of like teenage guys kind of trying to sort it out.
They're not teenage guys.
I feel like the video,
but yeah.
Well, that kind of, well, you know what I mean, right? That kind of time frame, and like, you know, they're all living together, so you get that sense of camaraderie where they're all together, but also that inclination that like we like at this age we feel all powerful, but we also carry around this like this frustration, this anger that we don't know how to quite cope with yet. So we do have this outburst where we just want to destroy things, but we also have these moments of great intimacy and friendship between others. And I love that thematic through line throughout the video.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a sucker for coming of age stuff. We know this, and I feel like this video really hit on those notes for me. I loved it.
I didn't take away a coming of age thing from the video, but I like your interpretation of that actually. I just took it off as like, you know, just doing something visually interesting. But I never took away a greater meaning to that. But that's very interesting, actually. Sure. I saw a making of documentary on how they made all 3 albums in 1 year called the Saturation Trilogy. And I saw them like the behind the scenes of how they made the music video as well. And you know, it's what you would expect. So it's all sped up, really, and that's like the black and white and sped up. And so of course on set they slow down the songs so they could match it up speed wise. The music video. The song has repetitive elements.
It does.
In the beat, and the editing matches that. So it'll show the same thing, like same person hitting a piano again and again and again to match the beat. Did you love this?
I did love that.
Then this is just your
I did. I did like the song overall. This is my introduction to Brockhampton.
Yeah.
And you know, I've heard people talk about it a lot, but I really did like this song a lot.
I'll send you a couple more music videos of them.
Please do.
This era, they have a specific look to their music videos from this era that they've changed now. This is directed by the main guy in the group, Kevin Abstract, and he still directs most of their music videos. But like, a lot of their music videos have this aesthetic, but they've kind of changed and evolved. But it's a lot of songs are just like this, guys having fun. They have one where they're just all painted in blue, running around, you know, just fun stuff like that.
Cool.
And this is their mellow songs. Okay.
Yeah.
If you're listening at home again, the video cut out again.
Like,
I might edit that little bit out depending on how long it was. So.
Yeah, the video did cut out again. Okay.
Okay. So you said you left Road to Nowhere.
That's fine.
By the Talking Heads.
Yeah. Road to Nowhere by Talking Heads I thought was great. I don't know. This was one of those where I just don't have that much to talk about it. I thought it was really fun, and I liked, and I thought the sweet, and I liked. I don't know. It had this like kind of kooky, different vibe about it, and I thought that the like it felt retro, you know, and I liked it. I just had fun watching it. I finished it and I was like,
it's really good.
That was great. You know,
I don't have much
it's
to
just
say.
really good. Yeah,
I particularly
it's really good.
The use of stop motion at the end everything's moving around and the hair is curling up and stuff. Like that, lots of different set pieces, which again I usually don't like, but all of them were very fun and quirky. You've got like old men coming out of boxes for some reason, and a couple just like growing old and having children.
This is one of those where there were lots of weird moments throughout the video, but because the whole video had that tone, I was on board with it, and I enjoyed that tone very much so. So
don't have much to say. In terms of your stuff, I'm gonna run through a couple more of your music videos as we close up. The Royals music video by Lorde, I find it kind of boring. A lot of bad haircuts.
It's slow, but because of video itself short, I don't mind. I just like that. I like the song, and I like the video having a like thematically matching the song, I feel like, and just being like, you know, I really enjoyed it for that reason. It just has that kind of, it has a similar atmosphere, I think, to the Brockhampton video, where it's just like kind of retro in that like very simplistic pared down environment, but it's just like a young guy kind of trying to go after what he wants, kind of thing. So I think it's an interesting video.
Billie Eilish, All the Good Girls Go to Hell. Not a
Yeah.
fan of her music videos. I like her music. It's just trying.
Yeah.
I like the simplicity. It's just really her with wings, covered in like black gunk, walking down a road and there's stuff on fire. I don't mind it being simple. It's just trying too hard to be edgy and cool and like weird and kooky.
Yeah.
And that all of her videos kind of fall down that line, and I think I don't love it. But I like the music a lot. I like the song, just not the music video.
I agree in that I don't like Billie Eilish's music videos. I think Zanny is her best song, and that music video sucks. I don't like the Bad Guy music video either.
The Bad Guy music video is
I don't like her music videos.
The Bad Guy music video is her most different music video, but it's not trying to be disturbing like these other ones.
I feel like her other ones are trying to be weird, and they're weird to be weird. There's no narrative coherence. I feel like
exactly. There's no reason for them to be that weird, and also it's not that weird because there's no purpose behind it. Bad Guy, that music video, good song, but like that music video is just trying to be another pop music video, and it's got too many set pieces that don't have enough intent behind them. Which I was talking about. I don't like too many set pieces. Way too many set pieces. Agreed. Like there's no purpose. It's not interesting.
All right. So I agree with all of that with Billie Eilish, except there are two reasons why I think this is a great music video. One, I love the song. I also really like Billie Eilish. It took me a while to get into her and kind of understand what her music is and what it's about. Because my first introduction to her was great, but my introduction to her was through her music video. So I thought, no, this isn't my vibe. This isn't for me.
I can see
when I listened to the music by itself, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So I like this music video because one, it has some kind of a through line. It's about an angel that falls from heaven and either is in heaven, is on earth, or in hell. Straightforward enough. Yeah. It is simple. It is just her walking through, but the visual effects of her wings are really good. The visual effects of the wings are really good up until the end when they're like shriveling up. Then you're like, okay, they're kind of shaking around her.
I like the visual look of her hair over, like being covered in this. Like, it looks like oil, and her hair is all matted back. I like that visual.
I like that, and that kind of, you know, the wings when it's tattered down by the gunk and whatnot. It looks like it's this dress, and then when she's lit up on fire and everything, it's simple, but I think that the imagery is quite strong, and it's a good song, and it's the only one of her music videos where it's like there is some kind of point A to B. That's it. And I feel like it is different in that sense, but it's still her being herself and being weird, but with more purpose, I guess, for me in this one. But the rest of them, I couldn't agree with you more on, to be honest.
I just looked up the music video because I looked at the description. Because I remember when this came out in September of last year.
Yeah.
There's a little thing from her. It's about climate change, actually. The music video, and she has a little note about that. So it's partially about climate change. Oh, that makes sense.
Well. Covered in oil.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's covered in oil, light on fire. I like that.
Yeah, no.
See, that's what I mean. I think that this episode is different from her rest, and that's why I wanted to kind of single it out. All right, any other particular ones of mine?
No, I thought they were all kind of boring. Otherwise, Weapon of Choice is good. Weapon of Choice is good. I like that one.
Okay.
Christopher Walken, he do be flying.
All right. Well, how about?
He's probably very grateful for his stunt double. There's a million. It doesn't. And it shows you don't need a million different set pieces. It follows a through line. Christopher Walken got moves. It's Spike Jonze, very good.
Spike Jonze, great.
Speaking of Spike Jonze, did you know he directed a music video on my list?
No.
It's one? Also Quiet by Bjork.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. All right, I like that. Okay.
My other Bjork
music
music video.
All right, so first of all, for the Weapon of Choice by, is it Flatboy or Fatboy Slim?
I think Fatboy Slim, not Flatboy.
Fatboy Slim, okay. Just super fun. It's just fun, and he's dancing, and it's kooky and fun. But the moment where I get like like jumps over the railing and starts flying, and then there's that great shot of him hovering above like the sailing board, like the sailing painting in the hall. It's that great wide shot. It's got great energy. It's got great visuals. Christopher Walken is game. I love it.
Yeah.
For Bjork, for It's Oh So Quiet, I thought this was also a super fun video. It fits the tone of the song and does a great job, I thought, because the song has its slow, quiet moments and then has this bursts of energy.
Yeah.
And I feel like the video does a great job of when those bursts of energy comes out, it's like you are woken up. It's like boom, the colors and the imagery. It really is it's great, super fun video. The only thing I didn't like is when at the end when she got so close to the camera and she was like, shh, and I was like, that was dumb. That was stupid. The rest of it I thought was great, but that was.
No, I like that music video a lot. Very energetic, as you said. It switches in between slow motion and then regular frame rate, specifically because to emulate the slow parts of the song. It's very much like set piece. The set piece is very much a movie musical. She's dancing everywhere, kicking over stuff. The mailbox is like a man, and like it ends like Grease with her like kind of flying up above everyone else. Clearly on like a lift.
Which was a cool effect. Yeah, very cool effect. Yeah. So I like that. All right, there are a couple things overall I wanted to mention. I guess before we wrap up.
Did you like
on your side? There is one. Oh, ask. Go ahead.
Well, no, you say what you wanted to say.
No. I think you're gonna ask where I was going anyways. So go ahead.
Did you like the Oblivion music video by Grimes?
Yeah, you're going the same place. I hated that video.
What? I love that music video.
I absolutely hated it.
Why?
I did not like the song.
Okay.
I thought her voice was annoying. I did not understand what at all the music video had to do with the song. It felt awkward. It felt like when she would interact with others and like they would try to sing, they'd be like, mouthing words. Yeah. And I was like, that's weird. And then the back half is like a bunch of shirtless dudes fighting. And I'm just like, this is all I hated it.
I really like it.
It's the only one that we watched where I was like, absolutely not. You know,
this is like it was filmed kind of guerrilla. There's a couple set pieces. It's just going to different events. There's a motocross event and then a football game. And I like the interactions with the crowd, even though they're awkward. There's the camera. It has a very shallow depth of field, and so the background's very blurry, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
It's the other way around. I like the motions she does. I like the song "Mother of the Brand New Baby," X Ash 12 or whatever it's called. It's the down to earth, which I'm not a huge fan of Grimes' music overall, but I do like this song. But if you look at her new music videos, they are completely batshit insane and not at all down to earth. And this is like just, at a sports game, like kind of singing for fun. And I like that element of it. The footage is very desaturated, which I enjoy. I think it works for the video. And going to your list again, and I thought the Good News by
Mac Miller
boring. I was bored.
Really?
By it.
Okay, so I picked this song because I really like Mac Miller, and
I don't have an opinion on this
the other video I thought. The other video I thought of was Self Care by him, because I think that's a really interesting music video. Because it's mostly set in a coffin. It's got great close-ups, but they also make the space feel wide but also claustrophobic. It's a really good music video. I picked this one because I thought that this was the first song and video released after his death, and I thought the video was a great tribute to his life. And I just thought on that standpoint, and I like that the song was about it's about the pressures that people wanted from him. He couldn't be the person that others always wanted him to be. And I love the message of the song, and I like that they show that through this is legacy, right? Here are photos of him starting out, this middle album where he's doing, albums like Kids, and then all the way through to, towards the end of his life, how it kind of matured, and some of the imagery of, the guy in the scuba thing was his symbol. and it's floating through space and whatnot, and then you see him like walk through the airplane window, which was part of like his last album, and there's a lot of callbacks and Easter eggs and references, and I just think it's a really great tribute to his life. So it's not a music video I love, but it's one I think is really I think it's really good for that reason. I just wanted to shout it out because of that.
Yeah, it's kind of boring, nice visuals, but not
it's
much
slow. It is slow.
Yeah.
I give you that.
I have two more things to talk about before we wrap up. This episode went on a bit longer than I wanted to, but we're having so much fun just talking.
Yeah, we are.
That I just needed to continue. So you said you like Best Interest by Tyler, the Creator.
Yeah.
This is again very like they shot this music video like off the cuff, like on a boat.
I like that.
Yeah, and the editing is amazing.
I love the editing. That's the one thing I want to talk about.
The cropping in on some of the footage.
Yeah.
And the repetition of the footage. I love it. It matches the song perfectly.
Yeah, perfectly. Yep.
Fantastic. I could have.
You and I are on the exact same page with that one.
It's great.
Everything you said was what I wanted to say.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to touch upon. You mentioned at the start, and I forgot to write it down. Actually, Radiohead motion picture soundtrack.
Song was whatever. So the thing is, the song is good. Sounds good. Yeah. The video looks great. Great visuals, very dynamic. But I think that it's fine all around just because I do not know. I have no idea what was happening in both the video and the song.
Okay, I have to
no
explain.
Clue. Not a single idea.
Yeah, that's why I have to explain. There's not really a purpose behind it. So it's not really a music video. What it is when Radiohead was getting ready to promote that album, from my understanding, they put on MTV during the ads, I think, a little blip, and it was like little excerpts of what you saw in that music video.
Right.
Little excerpts of that was music from the album, and people didn't really know what it was about. And
sure.
And then they put it together later as a music video, but it's not really, and it wasn't intended to be put together in that way to that song. And it's just very
sure.
There's no director listed anywhere for it because it isn't really a music video. I'll say it's the creative aspect probably comes from Stanley Dunwood, who does all of Radiohead's like artistic work in terms of their album art and stuff, and a lot of the visuals in there come from his art, which I have a book of right here. I had to grab it, and like
sure.
So all of that comes from there. And like you can see, like it's clearly taken from like this stuff.
Oh, 100%.
And it's a video digitized version
Absolutely.
Of this type of art.
I love the visuals. I just didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, so you're not really meant to. It's out there, and it's kind of just showing off early like 3D computer technology not done by a professional animator. And it was like it came out in 2000, and so it's just some guy did it, and it looks cool. It's one of my favorite Radiohead songs, and it hurts me that you don't like it, but you're not a Radiohead guy.
But it's good. I think from what I've heard last night and this morning, good. It's just good. I'm not over the moon about any of it. On my end, the kind of last thing I want to mention, I just want to give a shout out to two other things. So for me, 10 out of 10 by Rex Orange County. The music video is not amazing.
It's fun.
But to me, it has this kind of nostalgia vibe that I think is nice. I think it's well made. I love that song. I think he's a really interesting and different artist, and I like his stuff. And I really like that song. And I don't know. It's just a nostalgia kind of happy. It's about your friends and like kind of that living space. And I enjoyed it for that. And then the other one was for me, Shia LaBeouf. By Rob Cantor.
That's not really a music video. It's a film
music video
performance.
To me, it becomes a music video by LaBeouf's inclusion at the end of it.
Yeah.
The clapping of him at the end to me is the self-referential, like this is a video, right? Like
the rest of it, I picked two Shia LaBeouf things.
I know, but the thing is, I love that because I remember the first time I heard that, I'm like, this is so interesting, but it's funny and weird.
It came out in 2014, 6 years ago. Jesus.
Yeah, so long ago. Fuck.
Yeah. But no,
it's. But Yeah, I'm a big fan of it. It's just I love the showmanship of it. You know, the people come twirling down, all the dancers, the big Shia LaBeouf heads. Like it's this big pageantry show, and the song itself is good, and then it's just that sweet little French kiss at the end with Shia LaBeouf standing up and clapping. So it's not amazing. You know, if you're gonna watch Shia LaBeouf music video, you know, watch the one that you put on. But I put this on just because.
Oh, shit! I forgot to mention at the start. All the music video links are going to be in the description of the episode.
In the description,
but,
yeah. So I just, and then, the Shia LaBeouf one. It's just very rewatchable for me. I rewatch it like once a year because, like, oh yeah, that Shia LaBeouf music video. You know, that's fun. I'm gonna give that a watch. It's a few minutes and it brings a smile to my face. You know, I enjoy it. So, yeah. That's the end of, you know, my of all my videos.
Yeah, I think we're done. We had a lot of fun doing it.
You and I both had a George Michael song on there, but like we talked about Fincher and his music video stuff in the past, and like they're good and fun, but not as much to discuss, I guess. So yeah, damn. Wow,
that was great. I had fun doing this episode.
Me too. So different, and I really enjoyed it. And
this was a bit of an experiment as an episode, and our first video podcast. If I edit this, which I will.
Yeah. So, Moses, well done, man. What a great idea for this week. I've really enjoyed it, and I hope everyone out there's enjoyed it. And please search out some of these music videos because, my God, some of them are amazing. LCD Sound System, oh baby, directed by.
Have you listened to any other LCD Sound System songs?
No, I was literally. I stayed up late last night watching music videos. I woke up today. The first thing I did was watch music videos. So it was just like it was 30. We picked around 15 each.
I didn't realize how many music videos to go through. It was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. An easy week because we're not watching a full movie, and then I was like, oh shit, this is actually
took longer than that.
Yeah.
But
also,
it was great. I so enjoyed it.
Also, so LCD Sound System, they have a music video for a song called "New York I Love You," but you're letting me down. That's a lyric, but I don't know if it's the full name of the song. And it's Kermit the Frog singing, like lip syncing to the song around New York City. So that's a pretty good one. Good song. And of course, I recommend.
I'll look up their
Dance Yourself Clean.
I'll look up more of their stuff just because
live performance of Dance Yourself Clean.
I'll find
Incredible.
that. I'll find
it.
So
yeah, we have an email.
Well, next week, guys.
The Kino. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, next week. So again, you know, today's episode was at the end of a long road of a month, 6 week long plan that Moses and I were doing. And next week starts the next month. It's a 6 week long plan of what we're doing. So what we're going to do for the next 2 weeks is we're going to do films that neither of us have ever seen. Completely blank slates for both of us. And next week's film for that is American History X, which will be a disturbing watch, I'm sure, but I'm excited to finally see this film.
Ryan told me, Moses, we have to watch a movie about a neo-Nazi. I relate to him.
Yeah. Oh, no.
He did not say
Just
that.
because I like Joker doesn't mean I relate to people like that, okay? Let's
Maybe he does.
Pump the brakes a little
You're
bit.
Gonna come in next week and be like, he was right.
Oh my God, imagine. Actually, let's not imagine. Let's yeah. I'm excited for that next week, and I know it's a very seminal film and one that a lot of people have seen. So definitely tune in to see that next week. Yeah, it'll be great. I'm really interested.
All right, well, email thegoodthebadandthekino@gmail.com. I've linked our Letterboxd accounts in the description below. Ryan has started reviewing stuff there in the past few weeks.
Last 3 weeks.
That's good.
Recently rewatched La La Land. Reviewed that again.
Oh, I watched I, Tonya again this week. Very good.
That's such a great film. I love that.
Great script. Good performance.
Watching La La Land again, man. That's just.
What do you prefer, La La Land or Whiplash?
La La Land. I think for me, Chazelle, each of his films get better than the last.
Oh yeah,
I love Whiplash, but for me, it's his least favorite.
You're the only person who says First Man is his best film.
Actually, I don't know. After rewatching La La Land and the amount of joy and characters and the way that film's made and the phenomenal ending, that I think might be my favorite of his after thinking about it. But I will say just one thing after we sign off, because I love Whiplash, but actually the year that Whiplash came out, I thought it should have won Best Picture. Out of all the films that were nominated, I thought it was the best.
Maybe, yeah.
But I knew it had no shot in hell.
Yeah.
But so last thing for us to mention, because we need to get going, you and I this last week have both been watching ESPN's and Netflix's The Last Dance. We both have. I have 2 episodes left.
I have 2 episodes left as well.
I don't know how many you have left.
I watched one.
2 left. We both have 2
yesterday.
left. I at this point, now having finished it, I'd say that this is probably the greatest documentary I've ever seen. I think everyone needs to watch it immediately.
It's a fantastic.
I know you love For All Mankind. For the kind of documentary that it is. I think it's the number one.
Well, I don't watch a lot of sports documentaries.
I think it's hard to compare to something like. No. I'm not even talking about sports documentary. I'm mean like investigative documentaries. I'm not talking about something like For All Mankind.
This is so much better than Tiger King.
Yeah, because Tiger King I thought was super entertaining, but there were episodes that were clearly better than the last. Versus here, every episode's amazing. It's excellent. Everything about it's fantastic.
So
please watch it.
I'm not a sports guy.
We can share more of our thoughts on it next week.
I'm not a basketball guy, but I am so invested in this Michael Jordan story. It's fantastic.
It's so good.
I used to play basketball in middle school.
Once we finish it, we can talk about it. We can talk about it more in depth. It's like a little bit of an intro or tangent next episode once we've seen the full scope of the show. But just in general, that's our recommendation. Please go watch it.
It's so good.
It's really fantastic. It's really great.
I think we're gonna sign off.
Thanks for listening, guys, on this special episode today. Please contact us at all those things that Moses mentioned, and we'll see you next week for American History X.
Stay Kino.
Stay Kino. Eat.
Ryan, why did you talk? Wait, we're not recording, right? Ryan, why did you talk about his penis so much? Jesus.
Gosh, I love those dicks. So nice.
Bye, guys. I've edited that episode.
Bye, guys. Oh no. Oh God.